the pain. The pain sensation comes from under the skin. So Allah said, "Kullama nalijat juludukum," as often as their skin is burned and roasted, we will give them a new skin. Why? Liyazuqul azaba, so that they'll continue to feel the pain. Meaning there is something under the skin that makes you feel the pain. How could a man in the desert know this information that is consistent with modern science? It's got to be a revelation revealed by Allah to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Darkness of sea. You know a lot about. I was born by the coast, so I know how to swim. I know some of you can swim. I mean, if there's any out, I'm going to swim and go away and leave you. I mean, I don't know. But I know how to swim. I was born by the coast, by the coastal area. Those of you who can't swim, I'm sorry, man. Sorry, man. I don't know, man. What can I tell you? So, but the point what I'm trying to make is that in the depth of the ocean, not sea, not river, not lake, not lagoon, ocean, Atlantic Ocean, Pacific Ocean, Indian Ocean, these huge, huge oceans. In the depth of the ocean, there is a wave that is taking place which no eye can see. Science knew that in the early 1940s when they developed a submarine. So they put a submarine in the depth of the ocean to study the seafloor, and they could, looking for riches. So they encounter a tension, darkness beyond understanding, darkness so deep, but it is over 2,000 feet. 2,000 meters in the depth of the ocean. That's where you encounter the biggest darkness. Even if you have a light, it still cannot shine nothing. It's so dark, more than whatever you are thinking of darkness. So Allah in His wisdom, and we know Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, he never plied an ocean in his life at all. Never. He never crossed ocean in a boat. Where? How? When? But He gave us this information of the ocean. Allah in the Quran, chapter 24, verse 46, Allah equated the life of the unbeliever to the depth of the ocean. Allah said, أَوْ كَالظُّلُمَاتُ فِي بَحْرٍ لُجِيٍّ يَكْشَعُ مَوْجٌ مِنْ فَوْقِهِ مَوْجٌ مِنْ فَوْقِهِ سَحَابٌ ظُلُمَاتٌ بَعْضُهَا فَوْقَ بَعْضٍ إِذَا أَهْدَرَهُ لَمْ يَقَدْ يَرَاهُ. Allah said, the skin or the life of the unbeliever is so dark like the depth of the ocean, where there is a wave on top of it, another wave on top of it, the sky. The Quran mentioned two waves. Mawjun min fawqihi mawjun. Wave, another wave, min fawqihi sahabun, and then the sky. The first wave, you can't see that. You have to go in the depth of the ocean over 2,000 feet, and no human being will be able to, sustain himself. You can't even go down there. I mean, the only way you could, maybe 150 feet. Even with that, the scuba diving, you need a submarine, something to breathe air. But 2,000 feet, 2,000 meters, impossible. You can't live there. You just can't. And that is where you see that tension. Mawjun. The first wave we cannot see. The second one is when you see. You go to the ocean. Where they surf on it. That's the second wave. So how did Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam say, Mawjun min fawqihi mawjun min fawqihi sahabun. Wave on top of it, another wave. How did he know? He never gone to the ocean before. It is an information that scientists are actually bound to the Quran. There is one scientist in France by the name of Jean Cousson, a French guy. I didn't pronounce the name very well, French name. Jean Cousson,
Rather French guy.
Cousteau. Jacques Cousteau. This man is a scientist. When it comes to marine science, he specialized on it. This is like the guru of marine science. So when they showed this information about in Surah Al-Mu'mineen to him, he said, who made those statements? Was Muhammad, was he a sailor? He was asking if Muhammad was a seaman. They said, no. He said, but how did he make this is true? How did he know? He said, well, you tell us. He never been in the ocean. He never died. You can't even dive less than 200 feet. You would die unaided. Let's talk about 2,000 meters. No. So this scientist, he became a Muslim by virtue of this verse. Scientists, they are proving that the Quran is from Allah. So Allah said, وَيَرَى الَّذِينَ أُوتُوا الْعِلْمَ الَّذِي أُنزِلَ إِلَيْكَ مِنْ رَبِّكَ هُوَ الْحَقُّ وَيَهْدِي إِلَى صِرَاطِ الْعَزِيزِ الْحَمِيدِ. Those who have the knowledge will eventually come to confirm, O Muhammad, that you are on the right track and that is Allah who sent you. Men of knowledge. Knowledge is power. And they are using it. See, again, like I said, I live in Seattle. And between my house, I live in a town called Kent. And between my house and where Bill Gates lives is just 15 miles. I'm working very close to get close to him, get some money so we could do dawah with it. I'm working on dawah. Just 15 miles, I'm just scooping myself. I'm inching myself closer to him, you know what I'm saying? Get some, raw material. But we have Microsoft in Seattle, Washington, in Redmond. It's a suburb, very, very expensive area. And once in a while, if I'm in Seattle, they call me Muslim scientists who work in Microsoft, sound engineers. They do call me, this Sheikh, we have this new science. Can you give us the Islamic interpretation of it? Sometimes I don't know. I have to go and research. Sometimes I know we explain. So once in a while, I go to their masjid, the Muslim who works there. And there is computer today. Computer is revolutionizing the world today. It is. Bill Gates wrote a book. The book's name is Business at the Speed of Thought. Can you imagine a book written by Bill Gates, Business at the Speed of Thought? In that book, Bill Gates, he cried crocodile tears. He said, had mankind used computer the way it should be used, there would have been mercy and grace. The world would be beautiful. But the computer is the most dangerous mechanism we can ever create with our own hand. Now he's crying. Why did we create computer in the first place? It's the most dangerous mechanism, and it's true. You know what computer does today. Certain thing that computer does is unbelievable. We wish we didn't even create computer. So Bill Gates is crying crocodile tears. The computer is mentioned in the Quran. I was giving a lecture in Bronx Community College, your college. And a guy said, I said, there is computer mentioned in the Quran. And I said, come on, Mr. Mohammed, Awal, computer in the Quran, how? As if Allah could not do that. I said, what? And he's a Muslim. It's like, what do you mean? What do you mean? Come on. Is it not possible? Didn't Allah say in the Quran, وَلَقَدْ صَرَفْنَا فِي هَذَا الْقُرْآنَ لِلنَّاسِ مِنْ كُلِّ مَثَلٍ وَكَانَ الْإِنسَانَ أَكْثَرَ شَيْءٍ جَدَلًا. We have indeed explained every similitude in the Quran. وَكُلَّ شَيْءٍ فَسَّرْنَاهُ تَفْصِيلًا. To each and everything you can think of, Allah said, it has been explained تَفْصِيلًا in the Quran. So therefore, أَفَلَا تَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ. Don't you analyze the Quran? Don't you research the Quran? أَمْ عَلَىٰ قُلُوبٍ أَقْفَالُهَا. Or your heart is blocked. Allah is enticing you to research the Quran. Allah said, look at the Quran, analyze it, check it out. Don't just believe in it, check it out, analyze it, Allah said. That's confidence talk in the Quran. Allah is charging you to analyze the Quran before you even believe in it. أَفَلَا تَدَبَّرُونَ الْقُرْآنَ أَفَلَا تَسْمَعُونَ أَفَلَا. How many times? In the Quran, many. Don't you reason, don't you analyze, don't you look, don't you check it out, don't you use your brain? Allah is asking you. So the computer, somehow Allah gave us the formula of computer in the Quran. But you have to know how to do the research. Watch this. The computer is in our front. Put it in your front. Right? The time I came home and I was my son. Before I got in, in the house, he was talking. It's like, I thought somebody, he's talking with somebody. No, he's talking to the computer. He said, no, please, come on, man. It's like, what's wrong with you, son? Are you sick or something? He's talking to the computer. He said, yeah, no, this is my friend talking. Oh, you're talking to the computer? All right. So my man switched to this verse that I'm going to quote for you. This can find the Quran, Quran somewhere. Okay, I'm going to give you the quotation, you will know. Allah said, وَإِذَا وَقَعَ الْقَوْلُ عَلَيْهِ أَخْرَجْنَا لَهُمْ دَابَةً مِنَ الْأَرْضِ تُكَلِّمُهُمْ أَنَّ النَّاسَ كَانُوا بِآيَاتِنَا لَا يُؤْمِنُونَ. Let's break it down. Allah said, when the time comes, we've given you the Torah, the Injil, the Quran, everything, and you refuse it. What is the وَقَعَ الْقَوْلُ عَلَيْهِ? When the time is up, Allah said, we shall rise them up a beast made from the earth. أَخْرَجْنَا لَهُمْ دَابَةً مِنَ الْأَرْضِ. أَخْرَجْنَا, it will be in your face. تُكَلِّمُهُمْ أَنَّ النَّاسَ, it will speak to mankind. But that daba will come from the earth. أَخْرَجْنَا لَهُمْ دَابَةً. أَخْرَجْنَا, to be in your face. دَابَةً مِنَ الْأَرْضِ, from the earth. تُكَلِّمُهُمْ أَنَّ النَّاسَ, it will speak to mankind. Then Allah said, كَانُوا بِآيَاتِنَا لَا يُوقِنُونَ. We have done this because you refuse to follow our ways. And the ways that you will follow will lead you to perdition. Okay, let's break it down again. You know, computer. There is something in the computer. Without it, computer cannot function. What is it? Huh? There is something in the computer. Without it, computer cannot function. The CPU, the central processing unit. That is the brain of computer. You could build computer, whatever, if without that CPU, it will not function. But the question is, where do you get the mechanism to create the CPU? You have to dig the ground and get something called silicon. Go to California, Silicon Valley. You dig the ground, you dig it to get the brain of computer, silicon. With it, you make the ground. So Allah said, أَخْرَجْنَا لَهُمْ دَابَةً مِنَ الْأَرْضِ. We shall rise them up a beast made from the earth. أَخْرَجْنَا, it will be in their face. تُكَلِّمُهُمْ أَنَّ النَّاسَ, it will speak to mankind. Allah said, we have done this because you don't follow Allah's way. And computer was actually made by Bill Gates. What did he say? It's the most dangerous mechanism we can ever create. He said the computer is leading mankind to hell. Sometimes people expect to see computer written large. No. Allah will give you the formula. That's why Allah said, see, if I see a Muslim that is poor, I feel sorry for him. We don't have to be poor. The Quran is money. The Quran is cash. It's everything. We shouldn't be suffering. We have wealth in front of us. The Quran is everything. No Muslim should be suffering while you have everything in your hand. So when I muted this, people were asking questions. I'm going to go a little further. My time is getting close, right?
No.
I got more time?
Yeah.
Sweet. I talk too much, and I talk myself into this. I'm stuck into talking.
Isha is 6:30, but we're gonna pray Isha. They said today is 6:45. We have 15 more minutes. And so, after the 15 minutes, after the Isha, then there will be questions and answers for 20 minutes. Yeah, inshallah.
And so there was a time. This information is just good to, it embellishes the Quran. It gives the Quran some kind of accreditation a little bit. But whether it's true or not, we have so many scientists who are Muslims who have actually researched the Quran. That's what we do in Seattle, Washington. I've established an institution. We specialize on, research of the Quran. If you come to our office, we pieces the Quran. We take it like you pieces your phone. Take it out. That's how we do the Quran. We take the verse out. We analyze it. And we begin to look at, why is this verse here? Why not here? Okay, if this verse is here, it will cause commotion. The verse should be here because everything in the Quran, wallahi, is deliberately carved out, chiseled out, and placed in the Quran in the perfect mode. Wherever the verse is facing the Quran, is perfect. The Quran is a power broker. It's a book unlike any other book. So in 1972, the Quran was taken apart. The alif, the ba, whatever comes, we take it apart. And they feed the computer. So they ask the computer, is it possible for any human being to write a book like the Quran? The computer came back and said, yes, it's possible for anyone to write a book like the Quran, but that person must be able to count the sand at seashore. How can you count the sand at seashore? Only if you could count the sand at seashore, there is possibility you could write the Quran. Only. It's like impossibility, it's infinite. You can't write the Quran. But there is some mathematical miracle in the Quran. There is comparative numbers in the Quran that is boggling scientists. We have numerical consistency in the Quran. Physical evidence. So, the mathematical miracle, the Greeks have an information about this thing. They call it's the number 19. They call it alpha. They call the number 1 alpha and the number 9 omega. Alpha and omega. The beginning and the end. In Arabic, it's Awal wal akhir. And that's my name right there. Awal wal akhir. The beginning and the end. The Greeks call that alpha and omega. Look at the miracle entailed in these numbers. So what they were saying is that the whole Quranic mathematical number is sort of structured on the number 19. And they said if you look at the Quran, it has 114 chapters. And 114 is a multiple of number 19. Based on one Quranic ayah. Of number 19. Alayha tis'ata ashara. On it is number 19. On this Quran is number 19. But if you read further, it says there are 19 angels who are protecting the hellfire. Then Allah said, if the Jewish, they hear about this number of 19, they will be surprised. And if the Christians hear this, they will be asking questions. What do this symbol mean? Then Allah said, those Muslims also who have faith, if they listen to this, it will increase their faith. Then Allah said, this is one of the mighty potent we've made in the Quran. Mighty miracle in the Quran. Alayha tis'ata ashara. On it is number 19. How many times do you do our salat? 5 times. I want you to help me do some mathematics here. How many raka'ah in Fajr? You tell me. 2. Plus Zuhur, how many? Plus 2, how many? Asr. How many then? Maghrib. How many? Isha. How many? Ahmad? Oh man, it's not 19. The Friday prayers. How many raka'ah? Plus 17. Alayha tis'ata ashar. On it, it's number 19. The first revelation that came to Muhammad from Iqra up to Malam Ya'lam is 19 Arabic letters, Arabic words. Watch my finger. Iqra bi'ismi rabbikal lazi halaka. Halakal insan min alaka. Iqra wa rabbuka akram allazi allama bil kalam allamal insan malam ya'lam. 19 Arabic words came to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam in Ghar Hira. Alayha tis'ata ashara. If you count from Iqra up to Malam Ya'lam, you have 73, I'm sure, I the numbers, Arabic letters. It is also a multiple of number 19. The word bi'ism appeared in the Quran interspacedly 19 times. Bi'ism, 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 bi'ism. It appeared in the Quran 19 times only. The word Allah appeared 2,896, which is also a multiple of number 19. The word